we lost the last stream there. We had a couple of different problems all at the same time there. Hey, Lisa. All right, Lisa figured it out. Allie Waters figured it out. Okay, I think we're back on. Camera was overheating. Hey, Cherry. All right, third of its kind. Hello. We're back. The camera was overheating. First time this year I had an overheating camera. I had to take it out of the case again. I forgot about all that trouble we had out in DC last summer when it was blazing hot. I was doing the live stream right in the sun there though, so I got to start thinking about that. All right, cool, Lisa. So I got through the Freedom Corner notes from Friday, vigil number 613. I'm going to start with Freedom Corner vigil number 614 from Saturday night, yesterday night. We got the first call of the night was from Taylor Jonatakis. And he was sharing a book that he is reading right now called Rigged by Molly Hemingway. It has a complete rundown of the stolen election of 2020 in it. She has all kinds of interviews in there with people that are closely related to that issue. Oh, the chat and comments were off, but the stream was good. Okay. Well, we're learning something new every day here, Lisa. That was a problem that I had never had before. There was some kind of weird, finally it just said stream has ended due to network issues, but it looked like my network was fine. Okay, so this book, I want to get this book now. It's by Molly Hemingway called Rigged. And Taylor Jonatakis was sharing a couple of quotes from that book with us. It's available on Amazon right now. I was able to find the link for it. That link is in Sapphire Patriot's chat from last night, kind of right about the time that Taylor was calling us. Yeah, man, and that's what Molly Hemingway is talking about, how it was rigged. 2020 was rigged. America is asleep at the wheel. America let an imposter into the White House, basically, and look at all the troubles that has, man. Yes, Donna Ray, I saw that the Statue of Liberty got struck by lightning. That was a pretty cool shot, too. They also had a shot of the earthquake from the arm of the Statue of Liberty yesterday too, which was pretty amazing. The arm just kind of shook a little bit. Colorado, what was the name of the book that was the opposite point of view? Because it would be interesting to read that one. How do they justify it that it wasn't rigged, you know, after all that information that we saw? Let's see, after Taylor was talking about how Trump derangement syndrome is just totally irrational and destructive also. Our military allowed it. Good point, Matt. Everybody allowed it. Law enforcement allowed it. Our Congress continues to allow it. Our Congress is not reeling in their responsibilities for governing the District of Columbia there. Disproven by Ken Block. Okay. I want to look that one up. That's the other point of view. I'd like to see that. I like getting both points of view, man. There's an interesting dialogue going on right now on Cash Kelly's channel, where they got a guy who claims he is anti-fascist. However, he's not really saying that he's Antifa. because he's claiming that the Antifa, anti-fascist movement was taken over also by people that just go in to smear the name of it, and they are being blamed for a lot of the violence. And anti-fascists don't really believe in just walking up to people with a red Trump hat on and punching them. You know, they're more activated, more rational than that. But that these thugs that are getting hired to cause troubles, like in Kenosha, Wisconsin, they are just telling everybody that they are on Antifa, but they're not really that. So that's an interesting dialogue from both sides, man. Our side got taken over too at the Capitol. I mean, there were a bunch of people with Trump hats on and stuff that weren't part of us, that never voted for Trump or anything. Okay, so after Taylor's call on Saturday night, we got a call from Chris Quaglin, and he was talking about another great source of information, the Epic Times. So apparently they do get a copy of the Epic Times there in the Gulag, and he was talking about an article that was written in Epic Times about Garland and all the stuff that he's doing. Garland, if there is some type of mass emergency where the government's going to cancel the election, this is one of the theories that's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen, but Garland would almost become one of the most powerful people in the country, because he would be, he's the head of the Homeland Security, and that would put him in an, or that might be Mayorkas, man. I'm sorry. I don't know. I get confused, man. That's why other people should be doing this. Doing the best I can, Patriots. Chris Quaglin called Saturday night. It was great. Next, we got a phone call from John George Todd, and he was just having a chill talk about jail food, how horrible it is, and all kinds of ways to make horrible food taste better. And one of them is just put gravy on it, put Frank's hot sauce on it. You know, there's all kinds of ways of fixing it up, ketchup. But the jail food still is horrible, even though there was a mandate given to the Gulag on January 1st to improve the food. So food is not improved, though. We got a call from David Dempsey then, and unbeknownst to him, we knew it was his birthday. So everybody at Freedom Corner, just as soon as they figured out it was David Dempsey on the phone, burst into singing him happy birthday. And coincidentally, there were fireworks going off at a park nearby that they could see from Freedom Corner. So they were telling David that, hey, man, DC is setting fireworks off for your birthday here, man. So that was pretty cool, man. But then David Dempsey was talking about, yeah, you know, after you get so old, you don't really celebrate birthdays anymore, but thank you. And then after the anthem, also, all the guys in the Gulag burst into happy birthday and sang it again to him after we sang the national anthem. And we sang the national anthem on Saturday night with Johnny Pollock was on the phone, and he got us going with the national anthem there. And he said, oh, he's just having a blast here in jail, having another day. That's right, Smalley, man. The Tabasco helps everything, man. Stormtrooper's a big fan of Frank's hot sauce, man. He puts it on everything. That's what he prefers everything to taste like. Even if it's good food, he puts it on there. That's funny, man. Yeah, Jerry, we're always looking for different options, man. StreamYard. I'm using Prism right now to do this broadcast. And there is stuff that I don't know on how to get this same stream out on Rumble at the same time. But there's problems with monitoring chat once you're on. If I'm using Prism on this to stream on YouTube and Rumble, I can't monitor both of the chats at the same time. Or that was the case 3 months ago when I was really looking into it, but that might be changed now too. I heard StreamYard, you can do multiple chats on the one live broadcast though. Colorado says, I don't celebrate birthdays either, but I do accept gifts. That's rational. That's rational. Johnny Pollack was saying, yeah, we're having a blast here in jail. He had a good day. I think he said he did 750 push-ups throughout the day yesterday. And then he was talking about chin-up. He did, I don't know, 350 chin-ups or something, but they're all working out really good in there. Trying to stay in shape. Trying to just pass the time. Pass the time, man. And then he had a story about John Wesley. A little, I don't know if it was a poem or a little essay that John Wesley wrote a long time ago, that you just go on in the Lord. It was a really good little segment at the end there. It's worth looking up again. All good information. Great phone calls from the guys on Saturday. Great camaraderie with these guys. God is keeping them, their minds rational. He's showing them how to just endure this extreme injustice in the Gulag era. We are praying for them. We are praying for their families, because there's a family for each one of these guys at home. There's children without a mom or a dad in the house. There's ladies in the Gulag too. You know, it isn't just the men that's in there. And then Johnny shared with us Isaiah 6:8. And that was one of his favorite verses he shared with us. Daniel Ball got on the phone just a little bit. And then that was the end of the night, man. Then they sang God Bless the USA. They all did the kick. Nicole's two daughters were still there for the week. I'm not sure if they're going to be there tonight or not. They were there for a week, though, enjoying Washington, D.C. with Nicole. They said that they went to, they did some sightseeing and went to the Library of Congress, Nicole and her two daughters. And they saw, what did they see there? The Gutenberg Bible. She said that was really cool, man. That's the first Bible that was printed on the printing press. I think it's in German, but it is like the first time the Bible was printed by a machine. And that is on display there at the Library of Congress. That was one of the things that I didn't get to see. I didn't go into the Library of Congress for some reason while I was there, but I hear it's very cool. And also, one of my good friends from high school said his grandfather helped design that building. So I got to get in there one of these days. The Library of Congress is right directly behind the Capitol. You got right behind the Capitol, you got the Supreme Court, and then you got the Library of Congress on the same blocks that the Capitol is on. And there's some rather bizarre statuary out in front of the Library of Congress, which, you know, leaves you wondering if we're a Christian nation or not. You know, a lot of the weird statuary around DC just keeps you wondering about that, such as the Washington Monument. But all that stuff was not built in the 1700s when God delivered us the Constitution through the geniuses that were somehow around right when the time when this country was born. All that stuff was built in the early 1800s, and I don't know, there's a lot to investigate there, why they built all these weird statues. Yeah, Smalley. But yeah, like when you go to the archives, when you look at the archives building, it's got horns on the corner of the building, like the Ark of the Covenant, or the altar of God had in Israel. There's all kinds of weird stuff, man. When you're at the jail, they're at the courthouse that the J6ers are all getting tried on. There's a really weird statue on the one side of the thing. It's modern sculpture, but it's all crooked. All right, and then on the other side, there's this blue cock up on the roof of the art museum. That, I mean, if you're in the courthouse and you're looking out the windows that point that way, the one thing you see is this gigantic blue rooster on the top of the building. And that has all kinds of subliminal meanings right there. And there is a story to that about Trump derangement syndrome. The reason DC hated that statue until somebody said, well, hey, it represents how much we don't like Trump. And then they decided to keep the blue cock on the roof of the art museum that's right across the street from the Capitol. So we've covered all that all last summer. You missed a lot if you're just tuning in now. But man, we've been down there all summer last year and talking about all this weird statuary stuff. Just doing a rehash of all that. All right, so we're still looking good on the broadcast here. All right, still looking good. Oh man, 20 hours a month, man. We do way more than that, Stormbringer. Or buy a subscription package. And that package is what, $50 a month or something, isn't it? For StreamYard. The cool thing about StreamYard is it lets you bring in other people, and you can do the panel talks where you bring in other people and you can see their picture on the screen while you're talking with other people. Okay, so in other news, let's get into some news now for the last 2 days. You know, we had that earthquake. That was bizarre. And you would have thought the whole city of New York was destroyed by all the mainstream news on the earthquake. It was a 4.8 earthquake. And the news is reporting that the epicenter of this earthquake just so happens to be Trump's Bedminster golf course in New Jersey. Now, I don't know if this is coincidental. And the final rating that they're settling in on is that earthquake was rated at 5.5 on the Richter scale. So I don't know if you guys all follow Q or anything like that, but that's all really coincidental stuff, man. Especially the 5.5 thing, and the fact that it was an earthquake that was registered at 3 miles under the ground underneath Bedminster's golf course there that Trump owns, man. And then, of course, the news just was in hysterics about the whole thing. You know, there was hysteria. Not hysterical, but hysteria, for sure. The news, they got to have some type of fear porn to keep you ready to just tap out and not care about anything anymore. I saw 4.8, 4.7, 4.5 storm, and then this morning, I think officially, it was rated at 5.5. Well, maybe that's fake news, Julius. Maybe that was I don't know, man. I heard it was under Bedminster, but I don't know. All I know is what they tell me on this screen here in the morning, right? And it depends on who you look up and what you watch there. Yesterday or Saturday, we also had Tony Blinken telling us that Ukraine will become a member of NATO. I mean, does this help anything? If Ukraine becomes a member of NATO and they're currently involved in a conflict with Russia, does that immediately involve the United States in a war with Russia? Doesn't seem to be great leadership coming out of D.C. here. Trump posted on Truth Social about Rebecca Laverne's, who is the 71-year-old great-grandmother who just got found guilty of praying in the Capitol on January 6th. She has not been sentenced yet, but they're seeking 1 year in prison for 71-year-old Rebecca Laverne's. And our President Trump tweeted or posted about it on Truth Social. So we know that Trump is with us on the whole J6 thing. Trump is with us on the whole rigged election thing. And I would have to say that about 80% of our Republicans are not with us on that page. And we are going to have, in about 31 weeks, another rigged election coming up. So we have not secured that election yet. We still have mail-in voting happening all over the country. We still have hackable electronic machines, several different kinds, in voting places all over the country. It's not looking good. It's looking like the red tsunami story again. Trump's going to landslide, and then it's going to turn into nothing, and they're going to steal it again. Unless we can secure that election somehow with 3% of the population, the 10 million of us that will actually stand up and do something about something. All right, we got the COVID hysteria is starting to amp up, in addition to on the front page of my local shitbag newspaper, they were saying about COVID. And then there is also this new bird flu that comes from a cow, or that goes into a cow, and then if you handle cows, humans get it. And somebody got sick with that. So now they're going to come around and tell us the government will pay all the chicken farmers to, kill their chickens, millions of chickens again, and another hit on our food supply, no doubt about it, Patriot. So heads up, man. We got to stop complying with this malarkey that they just keep throwing at us like that. The Powerball was delayed last night due to security issues? Really? I wonder what that's all about. And then there's this other big distraction story going around the right-wing circles with Ben Shapiro and Candace Owens are having a spat. They're fighting with each other. I think it's over Israel and anti-Semitism or something. But for crying out loud, who cares, right? Like I said, we got a rigged election coming up. We're coming into World War III, and right-wing media is actually using up breath to talk about Candace Owens and Ben Shapiro. A lot of it, too, which I could care less about. It doesn't seem to be a unifying event at all, and I would wonder why Ben Shapiro or Candace Owens would be involved with that. Candace got the shaft with where she was working with the Daily Wire is where she was employed with Ben Shapiro, and she got fired. So I can see why she's all fired up, but I don't get why Ben Shapiro is exacerbating this issue and taking wind out of the sails of what really needs to be talked about, man. And that's one of the problems with our right-wing media, man. I can't stand them for this. We're talking about stuff that is irrelevant. And it isn't even about the Israel-Hamas issue. It's just about anti-Semitism, which is another boogeyman that, countries all around the world, we make laws where you can't hate the the Jews, right? It's already illegal to commit crimes against people. So why do you got to make these new subcategories of people? To split us up and divide us. That's why. That's why March 31st was Trans Visibility Day, because they want to make a subcategory of people that have to have special attention, and it divides us up as a country. But it continues to work, and they'll continue to do it as long as it continues to work, man. Yeah, Ben Shapiro's kind of whiny. I don't watch him, but he's on our side, supposedly. But if he's causing distractions and taking us out of the battle, he's not on our side then. He's on their side. He's part of the Uniparty, apparently. Maybe he'll right this. Maybe he'll correct this mistake he's making, but getting into a big spat with Candace Owens is a mistake, man. And maybe Candace will back out of it too, realizing that this is nothing but a distraction from what is important. Okay, Debt for Freedom. I see that post. Oh, I'm behind the watermark. Okay. If it's over here, though, I'll try it over here. How's that? Okay. Sorry, Deb. I just saw that. Yeah, that should work. So that was all the news from yesterday. And I really, one of the things about right-wing media is that they all think they're right. When you watch Dan Bongino, he thinks he's the only guy right. When you watch Bannon, I don't know, man. I don't even watch the left news, and I don't consistently watch any one right-wing news, but I try to take in all news and use my discernment to and prayer to filter out what actually is relevant and where we should be focusing our attention, and try not to get caught up into the hysteria of just giving up and the paradigm busting stuff that I'm always talking about They're just trying to break your mind, you know, to crush your mind. They've been studying the human mind for a long time. And these conflicting stories, you know. In the same day, Newsweek printed a story about how global warming has happened, and in the same day, People magazine or some other magazine puts another article about how the world is cooling off, you know. So it's this constant clashing of information that the enemy of the people, the evil forces in the world that don't want truth to succeed, are unleashing against us on a big time level. There's something called the Cloward Piven strategy, and that is a method that where you crash the system, you overload the system to the point where it crashes, like the welfare system said. You get so many people hooked up on the welfare system that the budget can't take it anymore. You throw money at it, throw more money at it until because you're telling people we need more money for the welfare system, and the welfare system's good, so we should keep it going. And you just keep throwing millions and millions of dollars at it, but you keep overloading the system at the same time until the whole thing blows up, falls apart. Now all the people that need help and assistance aren't going to be getting it, and you got all the people that were funding it all mad and pissed off. And then the evil comes in and picks up the pieces and creates order out of chaos that they instituted, that they fabricated, that they engineered and put this whole country into. And right now, we got the Cloward Piven strategy happening on every single front that we got. We got the Cloward Piven strategy happening on the transgender, LGBTQIA plus front, okay? All of that. They're just overloading the whole thing with Drag Queen Story Hour, with Trans Visibility Day. All right, that one issue right there. They're crashing that whole system, okay? And then at the same time, they're crashing the system on the support for Ukraine. You know, that we just keep dumping more and more and more money into Ukraine. And look at Congress is getting ready to dump another $60 billion into Ukraine as soon as they get back off of vacation. Where else do we got it now? We got it in Israel, okay? So there's our military. It's got 3 fronts going on at the same time. That's a Cloward Piven strategy. Crash the system, pick up the pieces after it's crashed. And people, their paradigm is broke. They disassociate. That's why 97% of America is sleeping right now, because they don't even want to care. They don't even think they can possibly understand it or make sense of the whole thing either. What else do we got? Cloward Piven on the economy. Look at the price of food now is at least double from when Biden took over. My bills are unbelievable through the roof, man. And I live frugally, but gas is twice as much what it costs. Food is twice as much what it costs, at least. Insurance. Look at the medical profession. There's another Cloward Piven overload, crash the system and pick up the pieces that's happening on that front, man. I drove by a freaking CVS the other day, you know, where you get your prescriptions picked up. And right on the sign out by the road, it says, heroes work here. All right, they're crashing our whole language system. You know, what do you know that a hero is a guy that jumps into the freaking river and saves a kid that's drowning. Not a person that takes your money at the cash register. That is not what a hero is, but that's what the sign on the road says. You know, I respect everybody that actually has a job and you know, functions on a job so that we can have a civilized society and all this, but cashiers are not heroes. That's all there is to it. If you want to be a hero, you don't go out and go, I want to be a hero. I'm going to go get a job at CVS, and then I can be a hero. But that's what the sign says, you know, right out in front of the CVS. It also has that there's a big banner on our hospital too. Heroes work here. So they're crashing the language too. What else are they crashing? They're crashing mathematics in school. Have you ever tried to do your math homework with a kid who's in elementary school right now? It's absolutely ludicrous. And as an old guy who knows the times tables and all that kind of stuff, I can't even help out my 9-year-old granddaughter with her math homework because I have no idea what they're talking about. It has nothing to do with the math that I know about or any type of functional life application math that you need to learn about. They're crashing every system everywhere right now. And 97% of America has just said, forget about it. All I want to do is watch football and drink beer right now. And I'm sympathetic to that, but we're going to lose everything. You're not even going to be able to watch football and drink beer if this continues past the next election. And if this next election happens without any changes made to the election system with the mail-in ballots and the machines, they're going to rig the election again. No matter how much you think we're going to swamp the system with votes and there's more people for Trump and we got to go out and do ballot harvesting like they did, we're not going to be able to win that election because they can just rig it more. And that's the truth, America. That is the truth. And I pray God wakes us up. I pray God wakes him up. Okay, I wanted to share with, so I wanted to share that Turbo Cummins, one of our own Patriots that hangs out in our channel here, has a Rumble channel. Turbo's been putting out really cool music, and he does a live chat that's on pretty much every night after Freedom Corner. If you guys if you got nothing to do, you want to just turn on some music, and you can go chat in Turbo's chat room there. But just this weekend, he started putting out little clips from like InfoWars, and he had another clip from, I think, Reese Report or something. And so check out Turbo Cummins' new news reports that he's putting out. I don't know if he's going to do it every day or once a week on the weekends or something. He was in here earlier and said he put out more stuff again today. I watched everything he put out on Saturday, and it was all watchable, good stuff that I was interested in. So apparently he's like watching InfoWars, and then when he sees a relevant, good thing about like the things that we're interested in, like J6 and election fraud, he'll clip it and put it on his channel. So way to go, Turbo, man. Much appreciated, man. All right, and Stormbringer here. He's involved with American Patriot News. These guys are doing the same thing. American Patriot News on YouTube and Waters Effect on Rumble. Good source of information. They do a 1-hour broadcast every morning from 10:30 to 11:30. And then they do clips throughout the day as news breaks and stuff. Shorter 3 to 7 minute clips about one topic only. They're doing a great job. Good job there, Stormbringer. I really appreciate what you guys are doing there. Okay, now on this Reese Report, who is a contributor on the InfoWars channel, there's an article, a segment about something called Lavender. Lavender is an AI directing Israel's bombing spree. So they're using AI to pick out targets to bomb in the Gaza Strip right now. And we know that we just had an accidental bombing of some aid workers down in Gaza. Seven trucks were actually hit accidentally by Israeli missiles or whatever they used to blow them up. And 7 aid workers died that were supposed to be on a aid mission for the people in Gaza that are apparently not Hamas, but they're still stuck there or something, all right? Now, mind you, that no other countries are bringing aid to the people in Gaza Strip. Egypt is not sending aid in there. Lebanon is not sending aid in there. Mark Levin just had a whole segment on that, all right? Saudi Arabia is not sending in. Iran's not sending in aid for the people in Gaza. You know who's sending the aid in from Gaza? Israel and the United States, okay? So that's the only thing, the only people that are trying to help the people in Israel is Israel, basically. Or the only people that are helping the poor people and the people who are suffering needlessly in Gaza is Israel. Israel is orchestrating this event, and then they basically just They basically just bombed aid workers down there, and they apologized for it. It was an accident. And but it turns out that Israel's using this Lavender program, which is artificial intelligence that's gathering like facial recognition stuff. It's gathering all kinds of information and analyzing where they should be sending missiles in order to win the war, to get rid of Hamas. All right, Dead for Freedom with a link. There we go. We got Lewisburg kicking off next weekend. That sounds good right there. That's on J6 Vigil's channel. And I'll be sitting in on that. That's in the afternoon, 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock. Every time we do that, we have a great broadcast from there. So with this Lavender project, I mean, just check out this Reese report thing on it, man. It's allowed to have a 10% error rate. The way it gathers information, if there's some Hamas guy who's using a cell phone, the AI starts monitoring that cell phone, whether or not that guy's still using that cell phone. So what could have happened is these aid workers got a cell phone that a Hamas guy was using, and the Lavender AI picked it up and thought he was a terrorist and sent an attack over there. And it appears that there's very little human filter in these attacks that they're letting this AI program send. Okay, what else we got? Trump raised $50.5 million at a Florida fundraiser on Friday, I think this was, or Saturday, sometime over the weekend, which is great news. FJB is trying to flood the student loan forgiveness program again. I mean, didn't we shoot that down once already? Now he's trying to float that on again. FJB is chaos, people. FJB is chaos. He's a national security threat. Oh yeah, subscribe to Mickey and Nicole's channel there for Ashley Jan 6 Vigil. And they are live streaming there at the corner also every night. So pretty consistently, there's at least 4 live streamers at the corner every night. Okay, and then I was watching this Cowboy Logic. That's another channel that's staying up on the J6 issue. They have been for a long time, at least a year and a half now. They're keeping tabs on them, helping them raise money and stuff. They just had a segment where Jeff Sable, the guy who just got taken out of the Gulag, they did 2 or 3 phone calls with Jeff Sable on Cowboy Logic. Now, Jeff Sable, I think I've been reporting something wrong there. I was been reporting that Jeff Sable was sentenced to 46 to 48 months. Jeff Sable himself said he got sentenced to 63 months, but when you calculate that he already served 38 months, this dude already served 38 months in prison before his trial and sentencing was done. So you take that time off of 63, and then if you have good behavior the whole time you're in, you can only serve 85% of your sentence. You get good time taken off of there, and then you get 6 months at the end of your sentence where you can go into a halfway house. So that does translate to 46 to 48 months in prison still. So he should be getting out and being sent to a halfway house sometime in January 2025. right when Trump would be put into office if he were to win the election. All right, Deb for Freedom's got the link right there. Thank you, Deb. And that was a really good interview. They do it in the studio, so the phone call's a lot more clear than we get on the corner. And Jeff Sable was directing us to another website that I hadn't heard him tell us about yet, called fingerprintsoffraud.com. And I just heard this morning, and I haven't had time to check that one out. But he said there are, 200 and something pages of information there about the election fraud, proof of the election fraud, conglomerated into one website there. fingerprintsoffraud.com. All right, man, I think I got it all here now. And I do like that Gateway Pundit show that they're doing, and I forgot to write the name of it down. But it's the guy with Brian Lupo, who's also known as CanCon. CanCon has been a YouTuber, social media guy for a long time. It stands for, originally he was just he was into cannabis, and he was a conservative. So he was unique in that aspect that he was so that's how you get CanCon, C-A-N-N-C-O-N, is what his YouTube channels were. And he is now hosting a channel on Gateway Pundit's Rumble channel. All right, Sylvia's got the links, Fingerprints for Fraud. I haven't had time to check that out, but I want to check that out tonight or tomorrow or something here. Thank you, Sylvia. And Jeff Sable's giving that the thumbs up certification from Jeff Sable. So you know that's got to be good. He has also given us a bunch of other great websites to go check up. Tactical Civics was one of them. And there's another one about getting involved with your government. Getting involved in the precinct strategy was the other one. All right, I think that's it, man. I got it all. I took all these notes. I wanted to pass it on to you. I'm not sure if I'm going to make it into the chat tonight, though. I'm like way down here at the river right now. All right, Sully for Him's watching Jeff Sable on Cowboy Logic right now. It's a great segment right there. They did a great job interviewing him. Good audio. Jeff Sable they did a great rundown of exactly what happened while the charges against Jeff Sable, man. He was right there at the tunnel with Roseanne Boylan and Tommy Tatum. And they used like still photography to make it look like he had a baton in his hand and he was hitting a cop. When you look at the whole footage of everything, he didn't even know that was a cop. He was just trying to drag an injured person out of the melee that was going down in front of that tunnel. Yeah, you know what's really amazing? Is that we've stayed peaceful for 1,189 days. That's staggering to me. After all that's gone down. And we'll continue to remain peaceful. Because violence ain't the answer. They weren't violent on J6. But they're still arresting people. All right, I think I'm gonna keep the stream going. We're just gonna walk back across this bridge. Sun's in a different position. We'll probably get some different views on this. Wow, Bonnie, that's back when we had steel mills, huh? Remember that? Remember we had steel mills? What has this country become? Yeah, Jerry, it kind of mellowed out here. There was a lot of people here earlier. But I guess it's getting towards dinner time and people are heading home. Oh, you still got a steel mill there, Bonnie? That's right. Tonight's Sunday night. Flick it for freedom. Flick your lights for 1 or 2 minutes at 9 o'clock while we're singing the national anthem. Been singing the national anthem every night at Freedom Corner at 9 o'clock with the J6ers in prison. For 618 nights now. Hey, Jamie Crow, where are you? Did you make it down to DC? I ended up taking a hike today, Jamie. Trudeau just passed $2.8 billion job creation bill. Yeah, what are we gonna do with AI, man? I mean, really, what are we gonna do about that? All right, Jamie Crow's at the corner. Got another streamer at the corner tonight. And you know, we haven't had an eagle fly in here yet. Now's about the time. That's a great update there, Sylvia. Hostage updates, week ending April 6th, released. Bruno, Andrew Morgan, Thomas Riddle, incarcerated, 3 more. Incarcerated, Daniel Gray, Felicia Connell, James Wyman. LTV used to be the name of the steel mill. All right, Jerry Robertson doing a flag wave on Tuesday. Awesome, Jerry. I heard you guys talking about maybe going to Freedom Corner too. All right, Jamie, are you live? Okay. I'm gonna cut this one short then, man. Go hop over to Jamie's channel. Check out Freedom Corner. We just did 3 hours, I think, here. That's right, Jerry. It does need to say released, all of them. 1,190 days of peaceful resistance, and we still got 0 results out of our government. That's atrocious. That's ridiculous. That's criminal. That's evil. And that is what we're fighting here. We are fighting wickedness. And I'm just thinking there's going to be an eagle fly in here any minute. And as soon as I turn this stream off, it's going to fly right over my head. But all I see is turkey buzzards flying around here, and they're no fun. They're fun to watch, but not as cool as a bald eagle. Oh, right on, Jerry. Jerry, do you have a channel? We'd love to get you started live streaming. Hey, Cindy Z, I didn't see you in here. How are you? All right, Lindell has a Supreme Court hearing coming up on election fraud. We got the 1512 charge on the 16th coming up. Some Patriots planning on meeting up with Nicole and Mickey there for that. They're going to stand outside the Supreme Court on that. And then I do believe there is another not Jake Lang, but another case that's coming up supposedly to the Supreme Court. All right, Jerry. I'm gonna try to head down there when you guys go down there. That would be too much fun. You and Gator. That would be fun. There's Silly for Him's got Jerry Robertson's YouTube channel. Get some subs there so she can start live streaming. That's awesome, Jerry. Another new YouTuber. Look at all we got this week. I mean, just in the last month, Gator Girl started live streaming. Turbo Cummins doing the news briefs, the news shorts. That's awesome. Hey, Ridgeline. We had some technical difficulty in there, Ridgeline, so we were off stream for a while. The phone overheated. I forgot about phones overheating in the sun here. It happened for the first time this year. right, we're going to check out Jerry's streaming abilities here. All right, ridgeline's feeling better. Excellent. That's good to hear, ridgeline. Boy, it's a drag when you're sick, though, isn't it? Texas man killed by a bystander in what appeared to be a robbery. It turned out the robbery was a staged immigration fraud. Wow. Crazy, man. Hey, Gator Girl. right, that's good news. We got some bike weather coming up. Sounds good, Stormbringer. Sounds good. Ridgeline, get that bike out. Get better. Take a ride. Ride out to the lake. That'll be cool, Ridgeline. That'll make you feel good too. Don't get in trouble, Gator Girl. Yeah, a lot of motorcycles are out today here too. Alright, so I'm going to end this stream, Patriots. Thanks for joining along with me. We got Jamie Crow down in the corner. I think she's got a stream going right now if you want to watch something until they get going down there. And always be looking for flag waves. You never know. Master Grifter might be doing a flag wave or somebody. Sean out in Chicago. We got a great network of people here. And we are the news now. Thanks for joining me, Patriots. This is Jericho.